In this video, we're building an AI-powered maintenance system where n8n scans every entity in Home Assistant, pinpoints devices under 10% battery along with their area, and uses AI to generate charging tasks that sync directly to your Google tasks with a deadline. All right, let's build this out node by node. First things first, we need a trigger. Our automation needs an alarm clock to tell it when to wake up and start working. For that, we'll start with the schedule trigger. In the configuration, we'll choose an interval of days and set the trigger at hour to midnight. Now, why midnight? This is a strategic choice. The next step involves fetching data from every single device in your home, which can be resource intensive. Running this task during off-peak hours ensures it doesn't hog system resources or cause any lag while you're actually using your smart home during the day. Okay, trigger's set. Now we need to gather the data. We'll add the Home Assistant node named getManyStates, which allows us to retrieve the current status of multiple entities in a single step. In the configuration, we set the resource to state and the operation to getMany. Crucially, you must toggle the Return All switch to on. This instructs n8n to return a complete snapshot of every entity in your Home Assistant. This is key because it makes the automation future-proof. If you add new battery-powered sensors later, this workflow will automatically include them in the scan. With all that data collected, we now have a flood of information. Lights, switches, media players, everything. We need to filter out the noise, so we add an if node to act as our gatekeeper. In the configuration, we'll use the and combinator to enforce two strict conditions that must both be true. First, we target the device class and set it to equal battery. This ensures we ignore unrelated devices like dimmable lights or volume sliders. Second, we check the state value and set the operation to less than. Now, just for this demonstration, I'm setting the threshold to 99 so we can easily capture some devices for our test. This logic creates a precise filter ensuring that only actual battery devices running critically low are passed on. So we've isolated our low battery devices, but here's where a beginner might get stuck. We have a problem. The getManyStates node provides a ton of data, but it's missing one critical piece, the area or the room where the device is. Without this, our final report would just be a list of cryptic entity IDs. That's where the Create a Template operation comes in. It's the perfect tool for this job for two key reasons. First, inside the template field, we can use the powerful area name function. We pass it the entity ID and it returns the exact location, like living room or kitchen, something getManyStates simply cannot do. And second, this node lets us format all the data we need, ID, name, battery level, and the area into a single clean output. This is incredibly efficient because it means we don't need a separate edit fields node just to structure the data later. So with our data enriched and perfectly formatted, we have one final preparatory step. Right now, n8n is processing each low battery device as a separate item, but our AI needs a single cohesive list to work with. That's the entire job of the aggregate node. Inside, the setup is incredibly simple. We set the operation to all item data into a single list. This node acts as a collector, taking all those individual lines of text and merging them into a single output. With everything neatly bundled, we are now ready to hand this complete list over to the AI for processing. Now for the brain of our operation, the AI agent. This node takes the bundled list of devices we just created and using a language model like Google Gemini, transforms it from raw data into a polished, human-readable report. The entire behavior of this node is controlled by the prompt. We give the AI a detailed instruction manual. First, we define its role. You are a concise home automation assistant. Next, we give it a clear task. Generate a battery charging list, but most importantly, we provide strict formatting rules. We command it to sort the devices with the lowest battery level first, use a simple bulleted list, and follow a precise format for each line. Finally, we inject our aggregated data right into the prompt. By being this specific, we ensure the AI doesn't guess. It follows our rules exactly, outputting a perfectly sorted and formatted charging list every single time. With this text now ready, there's only one thing left to do: get it onto our phones. And for the final step, the payoff, we'll deliver this report right where we'll see it, our to-do list. For this, we use the Google Tasks node set to create a task. First, you'll select the specific task list where you want your checklist to appear. For the title, we'll give it a consistent name like Battery Charging Checklist. The real content goes into the Notes field. Here, we use a simple expression to pull the entire formatted text directly from our AI agent's output. Next, to make sure we act on this, we'll set a due date using an expression that dynamically sets the deadline for 3 days from now, giving us a gentle nudge without being too urgent. We also explicitly set the status to Needs Action. This is important because it guarantees the task shows up as an open, actionable item on our list. And that's it. With this final node in place, our workflow is complete. It will run silently in the background, and if any device needs attention, a perfectly formatted and prioritized task will automatically appear in your Google Tasks app, ready for you to action. By the way, I've bundled everything from this build into a guide for you. You can find that link waiting in the description. I'm always looking for new ideas, so share what you like to build together in the comments. Every like and subscribe truly helps the channel expand. Thanks for watching.